And this weekend, President Donald J. Trump began to make good on his vow to remove those in the country illegally as two flights took off from the US, headed towards Colombia. Now, Colombia initially refused to let the two planes land, but they soon changed their minds after the president threatened them with hefty tariffs. Meanwhile, back in the UK, a Pakistani rape gang ringleader has been walking around Rochdale totally scot-free after he simply renounced his Pakistani citizenship, making him legally immune to any form of deportation. Well, in total contrast, let's take a listen to what the Vice President said about America's approach to law-breaking immigrants.
We know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. And
that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
Now, what a contrast, and no wonder that so many people have been demanding that Brits should deal with our own migration crisis precisely like Donald J. Trump. Well, join me now is a human rights lawyer, David Haig. David, always an absolute pleasure. Isn't it astonishing that within a week of getting into power, filling the planes full of illegal immigrants, no excuses, no questions asked, clear off, get back to your country. If they get turned back by the president, then, well, 25% tariffs, and we might seize all visas for any official people, including government officials, from Colombia. In stark contrast, we can't even deport rapists who are living in the same communities as the girls that they sexually abuse. Is it not time for Britain to follow Trump and get these people out of our country?
Good evening, Martin. I think we certainly need to change what we're doing when it comes to immigration laws and illegal migrants. And what Donald Trump has achieved so far is, I understand, and even as a human rights lawyer, but as a British citizen, I'm sitting here looking on with envy at how quickly and things are being achieved there. The problem that we've got, though, is not just the government, and it's not just this current government. If you look at previous governments, they've also not tackled the problem with illegal migrants. So we've got a problem with the governments, problem with the leaders, and then we've got a problem with our existing laws. So even if we had a strong leader like Donald Trump, where we are at the moment with our laws, it would be very difficult for someone to do something similar.
Why? I mean, the thing is, Giorgia Meloni, they're in the European Court of Human Rights. They're in the European Union. They tow boats back to Libya. They refuse to let boats land on their coastal property. Why can't we do the same? Are we just hiding behind laws? Would a strong leader in Britain be able to do a Donald Trump?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if the will was there, and that's the key thing here, if the will was there, then I think certainly you can. But if you look, there's a case in the news today about some chap that can't be deported back to Albania. And his case has started in, I think, 2014. So this is successive governments. It's the Labour government, it's the Conservative government, and it's the coalition governments. That includes the Lib Dems. No one through all those three have managed to do anything strong. So if you look at where we are today, if we had a leader that could do agreements, return agreements with other countries using similar things perhaps to what Donald Trump has done. We may not be in a position to do that, but that would help from the deportations that have been stopped from a human rights law perspective. But again, there isn't that person in government at the moment.